What if Hollywood's most iconic mansions came with secrets more shocking than any movie plot? Behind ornate gates and sweeping staircases lay hidden rooms, ghostly legends, secret labs, heartbreak, and redemption. Today, we're uncovering 10 celebrity estates' homes that revealed more about their owners than any red carpet ever could. From bubblegum pink fantasies to retreating sanctuaries, these were places where fame met fear, genius, and grief. Jane Mansfield's Pink Palace. Jane Mansfield turned her house at 10,100 Sunset Boulevard into a living dollhouse. She painted every inch bubblegum pink walls, ceilings, carpets. The pool, heart-shaped, even spelled "I love you, Janie." Parties got surreal, with pink champagne fountains flowing non-stop. But beneath that loud, glamorous surface was a woman longing for love. Jane was fluent in 5 languages and tenderly played violin in a small music room tucked behind the pink. She installed pink telephones in every room, waiting for calls from her distant husband, Mickey Hargitay, and read to her children in the pink nursery, switching languages as she whispered bedtime stories. When her finances tightened, she turned part of the house into a photo studio just to keep it afloat, turning private extravagance into camera-friendly income. Though the mansion was demolished in the early 2002, its shade of pink still haunts Hollywood's history as the boldest statement of identity ever made in concrete and carpet. Clark Gable's Grief Sanctuary Farm. Hollywood's king found solace not on screen, but in a quiet ranch nestled in the San Fernando Valley. Purchased with wife Carol Lombard in 1939, this spread was all fields, horses, and honest labor. Forget the ostentatious mansions, this was a rugged, humble home for an icon. After Lombard died tragically in a plane crash in 1942, Gable never let go. Her closet and dressing room remained untouched until his death. He repaired fencing, read Civil War poetry, fashioned furniture in his workshop, and nurtured delicate flowers holding on to life by preserving hers. This ranch wasn't a public statement, it was a wound healed over decades. A man whose fame defined him chose simplicity and memory over spotlight and script. Mae West's all-white Ravenswood apartment. Now this was a Hollywood oddity. Mae West, a true icon, morphed her Ravenswood apartment into an all-white wonder. Shell-shaped bed, mirrored walls, stunning minimalism. She lived there for 48 years, producing her scandalous plays right from those walls, sometimes attracting police raids for being too risque. Yet, just beyond that glare, was a bedroom stripped of glamour, plain and simple. A woman who dominated screens and stages sought a private nest. Using psychics and blessings to ward off bad energy, she hoarded cash. Banks were untrustworthy after the crash, and even after she died, whispers of hauntings kept the building lively with ghost stories. Errol Flynn's Mulholland Farm Playground. This was a grown-ups amusement park with a private bar, shooting range, and hidden bedrooms. Errol Flynn, the swashbuckling heartthrob, built secret tunnels and even installed a 2-way mirror to peek on party guests. No wonder the FBI gave the place a once-over. During World War II, he was pals with Nazi sympathizers, then under watch. It wasn't all darkness. He opened the guest house to refugees, let struggling actors crash for free, and hid homemade home movies in secret cupboards. Still, behind those wild parties lay a man deteriorating vitamin rooms brimming with meds, a home full of unspoken pain. Alla Natsimova's Garden of Allah retreat. This wasn't just a home, it was a hidden village of rebellion. Alla Natsimova, a Russian emigre, created a bohemian colony for writers, artists, and LGBTQ souls when Hollywood still hunted them. Nestled on Sunset, with guest cottages, winding gardens, and a black C-shaped pool, it was sanctuary in a judgmental town. She hid among spiritual icons in her garage apartment. She funded immigrant girls' education anonymously. She endorsed night-blooming flowers, so guests who came with fear and secrecy could still celebrate their truth under moonlight. Eventually, financial strains killed the garden, replaced by a hotel, demolished in the late 50s, but its legacy as a hidden oasis lives on. Hedy Lamarr's private lab at home. Hollywood called her a goddess, but in her home was genius. Hedy Lamarr secretly held invention sessions in her dining room, tinkering on a frequency-hopping device that turbocharged World War II torpedoes. She patented it with fellow inventor George Antheil, but the Navy dismissed it as impractical. Decades later, it became the foundation for Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. Her house hid a lab. She hid her brain. Yet Howard Hughes recognized her, granting lab equipment, praising her brains and beauty combined. Even though the world didn't catch on until after she was gone, this glamorous actress carried the spark of genius behind a velvet curtain. 7. Howard Hughes's reclusive fortress. Howard Hughes' Beverly Hills estate resembled a high-tech bunker. Built in the 50s, it had its own airstrip, secure walls, air filters like a hospital, and tunnels. The owner of airlines and movie majors kept himself safe and alone. In projection rooms, he'd watch films on repeat, living off chocolate and chicken soup, obsessing over every detail. His paranoia and OCD designed the place. Yet, he quietly funded medical care for struggling staff. Hideaway turned safe prison. When the property was torn down, it was more than lost architecture. It was the breakdown of a visionary who couldn't trust a world he once seemed to rule. 8. Dolores Del Rio's modernist cultural oasis. Unlike her peers, Dolores Del Rio built a modernist neutral home in Hollywood, decorated in Mexican art and hosting the likes of Diego Rivera and Frida Kahlo. It stood firm against stereotypes Hollywood wanted her. Spanish, she offered authenticity. She financed relief for displaced Mexican communities and civil rights causes from that home. Her estate was less a showcase than a mission, private, inviting, truth-speaking, a Mexican star forging her path among blockbusters and cliches. 9. James Dean's quiet bungalow. When James Dean lived in his final home, a modest bungalow in Sherman Oaks, it was untouched Hollywood. A Porsche resting in the garage, a tiny photography darkroom in the closet. He practiced cooking Italian, played bongos late at night, read philosophy and thought in corners of that abode. He planned to build a ranch but never did. The garage housed his racing car returned after his fatal accident, forever parked there. On the night before he died, he planted flowers. That bungalow became frozen in time, the fragile, reflective soul behind the rebel myth. 10. Charlie Chaplin's hidden stage home. In Beverly Hills, Chaplin's house had a secret tunnel leading to a wine cellar perfect for escaping paparazzi or staging a surprise. His garden had a miniature stage where he'd practice routines at dawn. Inside, the 1,922nd remained untouched, ornate, elegant, and entirely authentic. During McCarthyism, this home became refuge when his ideals cost him his career. It remained a place of laughter, nostalgia, and safe privacy. Conclusion. These Hollywood homes weren't just backdrops for fame. Each was a reflection of the star within. Jane's fantasy, Gable's grief, May's stage, Flynn's disguise, Nazimova's refuge, Lamarr's invention, Hughes's fortress, Dolores's defiance, Dean's ache, Chaplin's playhouse. They tell stories movies never could. Real people, real secrets, stories that outshine any screenplay. So next time you pass a Hollywood mansion, remember, behind every gate, there may be a tale more twisted than any plot Hollywood dares to write. Which of these home secrets blew your mind the most? Drop it in the comments below. Smash like if you want more deep dives like this. And subscribe because we've only scratched the surface of Hollywood's hidden side.